Coming up on this demolition edition of Inside Bellingham, we'll get an update on what's happening today and what the future holds for the former Georgia Pacific site. And we'll find out how some folks spent their summer vacation right here in Bellingham. And Kim Spens shows us some of the city's great trails, perfect for walking or running. And Traffic Officer Wright has some ideas to help save you money by not getting traffic tickets and keep our community safe. All this in a season of dramatic change right here on Inside Bellingham. Hi, and welcome to Inside Bellingham. I'm Doug Waldo. Today, we're at the immense Georgia Pacific site in downtown Bellingham, where these days there's a lot of elbow grease, impressive heavy equipment, and some ingenious technology being applied to these grounds to prepare them for its beginnings as a brand new, wonderful waterfront community in Bellingham's downtown. The work includes demolition of many of the industrial buildings. Some unique buildings will be saved and incorporated into the new community. But the hard work isn't only about tearing things down. Intensive community planning is underway to create a wonderful new place to live, work, and play. Port and city officials are engaged in an incredibly complex and thorough planning process, including listening very carefully to the community's vision of what this place should become in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and beyond. In late September, Port and city officials presented to the community a draft framework plan.
So we took those principles, working with the public and working with the Waterfront Advisory Group, and we began work on a draft framework plan, starting with the roads and the trails.
It was a very important meeting, but it's not the end of the story. It's a chapter. And there will be many chapters written between now and the middle of next year when we anticipate closure of the segment of planning that relates to how it will look. Some of the key elements in this are great public access, good park system, exciting places where people will gather and want to be with each other, the university having a presence down there, and redevelopment of some of the significant historical structures. When the planning process is complete, after very extensive further public involvement, it will be a masterpiece.
The framework plan will form the basis for further detailed study of everything from environmental impacts to port and city costs, public financing tools, creation of new jobs, and more. Along with the framework plan, City Finance Director Therese Holm presented a financial analysis of the city's commitment to build streets, parks, trails, and bridges in the new Whatcom area.
The city has identified a number of potential sources of funding for capital projects, including the recently state-approved LIFT program, which is tax increment financing, which allocates a portion of the new taxes that will be generated from development on the site to the state and to local taxing districts that can be used to finance a significant portion of the new capital projects. In addition, the city has sources of capital funding, including our street fund, real estate excise taxes, utility funds, grants, bonds, and a portion of our recently approved Greenways levy that will be used to finance the infrastructure on the waterfront.
The next step is drafting and approving a final master plan that identifies where parks and other public spaces should be created, what the transportation system will look like, and where other development will be located. By next year, Port and city officials expect to have a plan and a development agreement ready to submit to the City Council for review and approval.
We've come a long way from teepee burners and garbage dumps on the bay. And we are now going to be moving into the phase where we are, as a community, coming together and putting some detail on the larger vision that was brought up originally by the Waterfront Futures Group, putting some detail on what will be the most important, most wonderful, most exciting, most inviting, most invigorating redevelopment and re-engagement of the waterfront with all the citizens of Bellingham.
This is an historic waterfront project that will affect the region for generations to come. To keep tabs on its progress, including how you can get involved in meetings and workshops, visit www.newwhatcom.org. Everyone wants to know, what did you do on your summer vacation? Well, in Bellingham, there's so much to do here that some folks don't even leave for a summer vacation. Here's a taste of summer in Bellingham and what you and your neighbors did to enjoy it. Start planning now for next summer. Bellingham is ripe with activities all year long. Try looking at the Parks Department website for a list of fun things to do all year, right here in our wonderful town. When I was a kid, not very long ago, we didn't pay much attention to the condition of our streams. Creeks were just some place to make mud pies and cool off in the summer. We've grown wiser, and today we understand their importance to fish and wildlife, not to mention how much we enjoy them. The city has found an efficient and cost-effective way to restore and maintain these valuable community assets while providing life-changing experiences for some of our youth.
The Conservation Corps is a job training program for 18 to 25-year-old youth who want to work outside and get some experience in environmental work. We do restorations of riparian areas, and we do environmental cleanup. If they come on with us for a year, they can build skills in those areas, and we can get them exposed to a lot of other things too, such as emergency response type work. The Conservation Corps puts together the crews and puts together the training opportunities for Corps members, and then the city of Bellingham, as our sponsor, provides us with a place to do meaningful work, and they have the need for our labor, and they also provide us with training opportunities that increase the capabilities of Corps members too. So it's a great collaboration.
We get a lot from them. They do a lot of hard work on our streams and the restoration projects that are going on throughout the city. And the commitment that they shows that the youth of Bellingham is really entrenched in making this a great community. So we're very thankful on a city level that we have these young adults helping us with these projects.
I guess it's about doing something with a purpose. You know, it's about making some sort of difference with the work that you do. You know, there's a lot of jobs out there that do make a difference, but to be able to go out there and do something and at the end of the day to look at it and be like, wow, this is the impact that I made, and actually be able to see it, it's pretty fulfilling. You know, it's a really good opportunity, and it's hard. It's really hard to stick through it to the end. It's not an easy job by any means, but it's definitely worth it. When, you know, at the end of every week, even looking back at the end of the day, you can feel how it's worth it.
I've never done anything like this before. I've never worked outdoors. I've never worked with power tools and chainsaws and weed whackers. You get to do things that you never thought you'd be able to do or get to do, and it's all in 1 year. It's jam-packed and it's exciting and it's different. I have a feeling that I'm going to be involved in conservation for the rest of my life after this. This has definitely given me direction. I never thought that I would work with the environment, and I don't think I'll ever stop.
My favorite aspect about the Conservation Corps is probably the emergency response. I spent 2 months doing work for Hurricane Katrina. Well, I thought about going into the Peace Corps, probably not next year, but in a few years, and doing some environmental work overseas.
I started school for business management, and took a little break. Didn't get too much financial aid, had to work for myself, tried to get a job, earn some money for school, which is another great part of the program. You get a rather large scholarship after completion here. The most rewarding part of the Conservation Corps for me is to actually see our projects go from fields of non-native blackberries, invasive species of weeds, to renewed habitat for fish and wildlife. It's just it's like building homes, but it's not for people.
It's a community-based program. You're giving back to the place that you live and the place that you're invested in. And I think that's one thing that we're able to instill on Corps members, is that, you know, they've got some civic responsibility where they live, and that, you know, being part of your community means being active in it.
The commitment of these young people is great for the city of Bellingham. Their commitment is undaunted. They were out last Monday at 3 a.m. to protect a restoration site in the rain from flooding, and we're very thankful here at the city of Bellingham for all the hard work that they do.
You can find out more about the ways the city is involved in environmental protection at the Public Works website, and that's www.cob.org/pw. Running. Some of us love it, and, well, some of us aren't quite so sure. If you love running, or might like to take it up, you are in luck. Bellingham is one of the best places in the whole country to get out and run. Triumph Park host Kim Spens hits the old urban forest trail with park champion and running coach Jimmy Healy, and then visits with Bellingham Parks and Recreation Coordinator Lance Romo.
Tell me what you love about running.
I love that I'm able to free myself from everything. You get out, you do something that's very good for yourself, physically, mentally. It's just kind of makes you feel more of a wild spirit by being able to get out and enjoy the trails and be able to move around and get the blood going.
What do you think about the trails in Bellingham?
I think we're blessed. We have over 40 miles of trails in Bellingham, and every day I try to make sure that I get out on a trail. And it's a great way to see Bellingham with over 11 miles of actual waterfront trail system, and then the ability to go up into the mountains and in and around town.
If someone was just getting started, what tips would you give them?
I recommend to take it slow. Most people get a little overzealous and they get out and they hurt themselves in the first 2 weeks. If you take it slow and you integrate some running into a walking program, it's the safest way to get into it. It allows your body to actually absorb and the impact of running a little bit better. It trains your body to adapt to the running program and allows you to be less prone to injury. Aside from that, making sure that you have the appropriate shoes for your body type and biomechanics.
Speaking of shoes, how does one select a good fit? I have no idea where to start.
You want to make sure that you have a shoe that's fitted for your foot shape, your body type, and for how you run. Everyone's different, so you're going to need a unique shoe that's tailored to you.
So if I'm going to get started running, what else do I need to know?
You're going to want to make sure that you pay attention to hydration, nutrition, and safety. With hydration, you want to make sure that you're getting enough fluid throughout the day, that your muscles are able to recover from your training program, and also while you're working out so that you don't exhaust yourself and dehydrate. And then with nutrition, a big concern for a lot of runners is to make sure that they don't eat 2 to 3 hours before they work out. And then to make sure that you are getting enough food with your new training program so that you have the energy to actually get out and run. Safety is always a big concern in Bellingham, especially throughout the fall, winter, and spring when we have less daylight. So you want to make sure that you're well lit either with reflectors or reflective gear or with lights, and then to make sure that you're in areas where you're safe from traffic and bicycles, which oftentimes can't see or hear you if you're not wearing any gear. And also running with other people. I think that is a good way to motivate yourself and others to get out and be consistent with your running program.
Lance, thanks for meeting me out here today at the Lake Patton Trail. What does the Parks and Rec Department have to offer with regard to training and events for runners?
We have, I think 7 events that we do, races with either just running races or triathlons or duathlons.
On your marks, get set.
And we also support like the Greater Bellingham Running Club, and we have triathlon clinics and running clinics throughout the year, especially in the spring, to get people ready for the summer races.
And they're off.
What do you love about running?
I just love getting out. For me, it's a health thing and it's a social thing. Like I just get to talk and hang out with different friends of mine that I run with, and also I get to, eat Rice Krispie treats and cheesecake every now and again because I'm burning off those extra calories.
Maybe fitness is your goal, or you just want to have fun or lose weight. Whatever your motivation, consider running Bellingham's trails. Our amazing trail system has easy access, beautiful views, and over 40 miles of options. So get some good fitting shoes, grab a water bottle, and come out and enjoy Bellingham's natural beauty.
For more information on running events and training options, visit the Greater Bellingham Running Club at www.gbrc.net. For more information about Bellingham parks and recreation trails and programs, contact the Parks Department at 676-6985 or visit www.cob.org/parks. It's important to be particularly careful when driving around schools this time of year with kids back in the school routine and daylight growing shorter. Traffic Officer Al Wright has some thoughts about how you can help protect our kids as you drive around town.
Well, I am a traffic officer with the City of Bellingham in the Bellingham Police Department. My primary job is to ensure safe roadways for the citizens of Bellingham, and I do that in different ways. One way is we do education. We have what we call a speed watch trailer, and the speed watch trailer we usually set up in neighborhoods. We receive a lot of complaints about high speed in our neighborhoods. So what we like to do is to set up that speed watch trailer and just notify and educate the people, the motorists traveling those roadways, what their actual speeds are. Most of the time, they're not aware that they're doing over the speed limit, and with that speed watch trailer up there, it gives them a visual display and instant feedback on their speed. With school starting up again this year, it's important for motorists to recognize the school zones that they travel through around our elementary and middle schools. Most zones are going to be marked with a flashing amber symbol and a 20-mile-per-hour school zone sign like you see behind me. That means that motorists must do 20 miles per hour even though they do not see children next to the school. The other way you'll see a school zone marked is without the flashing yellow signal, and that's when the sign says when children are present. This means when motorists see children or students walking on the sidewalks or in the marked crosswalks or waiting for school buses that they must do 20 miles per hour. Otherwise, when no children are present, they may do the posted speed limit. And we do strictly enforce the school zones. That's one of the primary functions of our traffic department. On the motorcycles, we're able to sit in those zones and monitor things a lot better than, say, a patrol car does. School zones fines are set by the state. They are $177. One flat fine, whether you're doing 1 mile over or 50 miles over. And again, they're really designed to assure that our students are coming to school and arriving safely and getting home safely. I love being a traffic officer. I believe it's the best position or best job on this department. We get to do a variety of different things. We do collision investigation. We do the enforcement, which everybody's aware of, and that sometimes isn't always the most positive experiences because people don't like getting tickets, but it is part of the job. We do these public talks and get to talk to citizens in the neighborhoods, and plus we have the freedom on the motorcycle. It's especially summer days like this, can't beat it.
Parents, are your middle and high school kids looking for something fun to do at the end of the school week? Do they like to blow off steam playing dodgeball? Or maybe they're into basketball or volleyball and simply need some place to play. Well, Late Night Open Gym might be just the thing. It's a Friday night program offered by Bellingham Parks and Recreation featuring supervised activities designed to keep your tweens and teens engaged in healthy activities.
Late Night Open Gym is a program for middle and high school students. It's an open gym program with facilitated activities like 3-on-3 basketball tournaments, dodgeball, volleyball, and there's plenty of free time so the kids can just hang out and socialize. Late Night Open Gym is a really affordable program. There's a one-time fee that lasts for the whole school year. It's practically free. It gives them a safe place that's supervised to hang out on Friday nights. And they get to have tons of fun and socialize with their friends and meet new people. The benefit of hanging out at Late Night Open Gym versus the arcade or the movie theaters is that there's supervised staff that are trained to hang out with the kids, and we do activities and we play games and we facilitate conversations, and it gives our staff and the kids a good opportunity to build a relationship. There's a lot of laughing that goes on at Late Night Open Gym. We're always joking around with each other, and the staff get to know the kids really well. And so for me, the best part of the program is in being silly and fun with middle schoolers and high schoolers. We sometimes have craft and art projects. So for kids who don't feel like being physically active and running around playing basketball, there's usually activities like that. We do beading, jewelry making. We listen to music. Sometimes we break dance. We do all kinds of fun, silly things. We do the limbo. Yeah, it's a good place to be.
Get set, go!
For more information about Late Night Open Gym, contact Bellingham Parks and Recreation at 676-6985 or visit www.cob.org/parks. Well, summer is officially over. We hope you enjoyed it and have some good ideas on how to have even more fun next year. Oh, big changes happening in our community, especially here at the Georgia Pacific site. It's an exciting time to live in Bellingham, isn't it? By the way, if you have feedback or ideas, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us through our website or directly via email. For all of us at BTV10, a big salute to our outgoing Mayor, Mark Osmundson, and thanks for the many, many years of service to our community. We wish you well in your future endeavors. and for all of us. In the words of Hill Street Blues Sergeant Phil Esterhaus, let's be careful out there. I'm Doug Waldo. Thanks for watching.